Hospital can't possibly expect me to eat this, can it? Oh, nurse, would you please get me an egg white omelet with toast?
Sorry, I'm not in charge of the menu. But it's nice to see that sweet disposition of yours hasn't changed.
Dr. Drake, I'm glad I found you. It's important that we speak.
You're here to ask me why I moved up Mrs. Yamada's craniotomy. It's because the swelling in her brain has increased, and I didn't want to wait. If you have a problem with it, you can
I'm
bring
not
it up
here
at the
to
board
speak
meeting.
with you about Ms. Yamada's craniotomy. Although in the future, I would appreciate a notification of any rescheduled surgery in writing. I'm sure you've heard the terrible and sad news about Dr. Clay.
We met yesterday, right? You were with Jake?
Yes, I was.
Did you tell me your name?
I did, actually. It's Samantha Morgan, but you already knew that, didn't you?
Sam and I found out about Dr. Clay last night. She's understandably upset.
That's right. She and Dr. Clay were once involved,
Yeah, they were, but more importantly, Dr. Clay saved her son's life.
as well as many others. That's why I don't understand how he could meet such a violent end.
I don't know. Honestly, as far as I know, that he didn't have any enemies.
And the police aren't releasing very many details. We can only wonder who could have committed such a heinous crime.
I don't know who could have done something like this to, thank you, to Dr. Clay. But it's in the PCPD's hands to bring the person responsible to justice. Now, if you don't mind, I've got work to do.
Dr. Clay's death is a terrible loss for the hospital, not to mention our patients. Speaking of patients, you must be pleased that Hayden Barnes has emerged from a coma.
Yes. She's still reacclimating, but she's alert and coherent. She seems to be responding quite well.
Thanks to your surgical skills, I'm sure. It's fascinating, isn't it? The body's ability to heal. For all those months, Miss Barnes was effectively gone from our world. Who knows what she felt, what she experienced. Now that she's awake, one can only imagine the enlightenment she has to offer.
I don't already know anything about you, and I'm pretty sure I don't want to.
Look, I'm not buying this whole amnesia act.
You think this is an act?
You wake up from a coma, and instead of remembering your real life, all you remember is this fiction you peddled about being Mrs. Jake Barnes.
You know, Dr. Drake said it was perfectly normal for me to be disoriented.
Yeah, Dr. Jake may give you the benefit of the doubt, but I have had your number since day one when you lied to Jake about who he was just so you can get some big score from your partner in crime, Rick.
So now you think I'm some kind of con artist?
Well, I mean, it takes one to know one. That bullet may have messed up your scheme a little, but I got a glimpse of the real you when I walked in the door just now. Obviously, you're not going to be able to keep this up for long, so why don't you just save us all the trouble and admit that you know exactly who you are?
If you think suffering with traumatic memory loss is some kind of con, try living through it.
Look, I don't know what kind of game this is, but I am not playing it anymore. Life is too short, you know. I actually lost somebody really close to me last night, and it made me realize that we don't have any time to waste. So here's the deal. I think you know exactly who Jake is. I don't know why you're holding back or what you're planning on doing with the information, but you better believe I'm going to figure it out.
Hey. What's going on?
What's going on is this woman came into my room uninvited and started throwing around all kinds of accusations. I don't know her, and I don't want to, so please, get her away from me.
What was that? You practically threw me out of Hayden's room.
Sam, I know that you're dealing with Silas's death, but come on, she just woke up from a coma. Aren't you coming on a little bit strong?
A little strong? No, the woman is a fraud, and I would have been able to prove it if you let me stay in there like 2 minutes. But, come on, Patrick. You're not buying this whole amnesia act. She's a con artist.
Until it is proven by a medical professional, I have no choice but to treat her condition as genuine.
But she's lying.
If she's lying, what does it matter to you?
Sorry to interrupt. Everything okay, guys?
Not really, no. A friend of mine died. Actually was murdered last night.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there anything I can do?
No, but thank you for offering.
Okay.
Are you here to see Hayden?
Yeah, I wanted to check up on her. Is that okay?
Yeah, it should be fine. I don't think there should be a problem with it.
Thank you. And I am sorry about your friend.
I'm sorry. Look, I was out of line before. I understand that Hayden is your patient. It's just I don't trust her as far as I can throw
Sam,
her.
I'm not questioning your instincts. I'm just not sure why it's important to you.
It's about Nicholas.
How are you feeling?
As well as can be expected, I guess. But it's so sweet of you to check in on me. You sure you're not my husband?
Sorry.
It's just so frustrating. Why can't I remember?
Look, I've gone through something similar.
Does it get better?
In my case, my memory never came back.
All joy.
Hey, that doesn't mean that's what's going to happen to you. You could be different. But even if you're not, just remember the first few days, they're the hardest. The more time that passes, the more experiences you have, the better you're able to manage. You start to figure out who you are.
Well, no offense, but I'd rather not start from scratch.
Yeah, I hear you.
I just keep racking my brain, and I can't remember faking that I was your wife or this guy who supposedly hired me, Rick somebody.
Lansing.
Right. Rick Lansing. The name means nothing.
What about Nicholas Cassadine?
Nicholas?
Yeah. Jake and I have been investigating him for Michael. We uncovered a connection between
You
Hayden
and Jake are
Nicholas.
now you working together?
Yes,
Why didn't you
please,
tell me, Sam? Why? I don't
please,
understand.
Patrick, please don't think that I don't trust you. I do.
But what?
I don't trust Elizabeth.